Hello again, my lovely people. I am really excited to share everything about the major arcana with you, and hopefully, you are just as excited as I am. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. So, the major arcana. The next 22 card is most tarot deck are known as the major arcana. They are typically seen as the power cards, affecting the higher matter of life. Images and meanings represent major life events such as marriage, birth, and death. Each one carry with it a specific message and can provide current with comfort, guidance, or direction. The card is the minor arcana focused on everyday matters, including the action and decision you make daily. In contrast, the major arcana paints a bigger picture of Corinth's life. Reader must understand the meaning behind each card as well as how they relate to one another if they are to present an accurate reading to a querent. So let's start from the Fool card. In the gilded deck, the Fool is represented as a court jester type, dressed in colorful clothes and entertaining the viewer with their juggling skill. A closer gaze reveals skillful hand delicately balancing each one of the zodiac sign in the air without dropping one. The meaning behind this image is that anything is possible. Other decks depict the fool as a figure embarking on a new journey carrying nothing more than a small pack, symbolizing new beginnings and having faith in the unknown. In divinity, zero often represent a time before creation, a void of unexplored potential where anything is possible. Zero also reflect an endless circle indicating the time nature of life and that without beginning or end. And the meaning full represent unexpected opportunities and welcome changes. The query need to remain open to possibility as well as flexible enough to roll with change. In some cases, this opportunity arrive out of the blue yet require a fast and major life decision. When this card appears in a spread, it tells the querent to embrace change and opportunity as they may regret it if they don't. This card tends to appear when querent are struggling with a decision or are unsure of which leap of faith they should take. It reminds them that everyone grows as a result of experience, making it important to embrace the gift life presents. The Fool also reminds the querent to indulge their inner child in terms of expressing wonder and enthusiasm, remembering how exciting change or an adventure can often help. I'm sorry, help motivate the querent into taking action. It typically appears to those who are ready for changes, but who may also feel some apprehension about making a major decision. Depending on the spread, there may be some negative connotations to the fool. For those that fear change, the fool sometimes rises anxiety level. This is often because the current may fear the wrong decision, instead pre- preferring to make no decision at all. If you sense that this is the case, remind the current that change often leads to be a better life. This card and the endless possibility it represent a good omens. Next is the magician, the number one card. In most deck, the magician is staring straight ahead. Their concentration on the viewer, they are often standing before or holding the four elements of the minor arcana: wands, sword, cup, and pentacles. In the gilded deck, these items are suspended in the air. In other deck, they are on the ground or on a table. The musician has mastered this element through skill and concentration. The musician often has their hand pointed toward the sky or is surrounded by a circle of light. This represents the connection between the heaven and life. The number 1 is the number of creative potential, power, and energy. It represents the beginning of all things. And the main message of this card is that you have everything you need to handle a specific task within you already. Any skill, ability, or talent required to bring a task or core to completion already exists as a result of prior hard work, concentration, and willpower. When this card appears in a spread, it typically means that the current need to act on any new venture or plan as soon as possible. They require confidence, but they are already heading in the right decision. This particular card often appears in spread for current who are engaged in the creative arts. It pushes them to communicate clearly in the interest of self promotion and to ask for what they need. The musician is a unique entity with skills and gifts that set them apart from others. Remind your current that this card appears to those who have similar traits, telling them that they do not want to start chasing their dreams as they already have everything they need to make those dreams a reality. So, the next card is the High Priestess. This second card. In most texts, the High Priestess is depicted as a beautiful woman adorned in flowing on or ethereal attire. She typically sits, floats, or dances between two pillars, representing the duality of life. In the Gilded deck, a crescent moon appears in the background and there are stars in her hair. This image indicates higher knowledge and intuition. Even in decks where she is staring straight ahead, the viewer gets the impression that she is looking beyond them into unknown. The number 2 is the number of duality. It represents opposing force and depending on the spread of potential that is recognized but not yet explored. And the meaning, the High Priestess is a card of mystery, secret, and magic. She appears to current who need to examine their own situation in more depth, as there are hidden depths that, once explored, could provide insight In some cases, it means that a secret may be revealed soon, with very positive outcomes from the current. Caution the current against overthinking the situation. Instead, suggesting they really rally on their intuition and trust their inner voice. This card also appears in spread where there is unexplored or unfulfillment potential holding the current back. It invites the current to step back and take a second look at the situation, this time after a bit of reflection. The High Priestess represents wisdom and typically appears when current need more information about a situation before they can confidently make a decision. The next the third card, the Empress. Do you know why I mentioned the third card? As you notice, I already told about the Fool card. The number indicate that 0. Okay, and the Empress is the third card. Okay, in the number. Okay, the Empress. It's usually depicted with the symbol of Venus somewhere in the image. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this image is on her shield, resting on the ground beside her throne. In the Gilded deck, she holds a golden Venus symbol in her hands, looking at it with a loving expression. This card represents feminine power, abundance, and fertility, typically surrounded by signs of the zodiac or other symbol of creation. The Empress also represents the ability to create, care for, and properly nurture life. The number 3 in this context represents the bringing together of spiritual and earthly energies, creating a third new energy. And the meaning is the presence of the Empress in a spread indicate positive resolution to outstanding matters and rewards for those who hard work. She represents growth and prosperity related to personal matters such as home life or passion project. The card also represents nurturing in every form, from nurturing friendship to projects to family. When the Empress appears in a spread, it usually means that the current has explored and fulfilled their potential. Depending on the other cards in the spread, the Empress can also indicate an impending pregnancy, birth, or new and long lasting relationship or marriage. This event may happen for the current for or for someone in the current's life. Make sure you read the supporting card carefully to determine the Empress specific message. So the next is the fourth card, the Emperor. This card depicts a regal looking man sitting on a throne or standing tall. He is typically wearing a crown or laurel leaves representing wealth, trim, and success. The emperor is usually shown with masculine symbol around him, as such the Mars symbol or images of sun and fire. He is also wearing long, elegant robes representing his wealth and status. In the Gilded deck, symbol of the zodiac are around him, and he carries a spectre topped with a miniature solar system. This represents the auctions of heavily wisdom and rotational thought. The emperor is a powerful man in control of any situation. He does not resort to violence but instead relies on his own authority. And the number 4 is presented by the number 4 is stability, reason, and logic. Okay, and the meaning is the emperor's presence in a reading indicate financial stability, ambition, and achievement. Your current may receive excellent news at work relating to a promotion or raise. In some cases, depending on the surrounding cards, the emperor can also represent an authoritative and powerful male influence. Make sure you caution the current to continue behaving in logical and uh, rational way, as the card wants them to base all their decision on fact rather than emotion. If the current can do this, they can expect to see progress in their career or other business matters. Depending on the other cards in this spread, the emperor can indicate future achievement of important career goals. This card also often appears to currents who need to be reminded of their strength and power over their lives. Some currents may have questions about career or relationship. Pay close attention to the surrounding cards as they can help provide the current with the means to find their internal strength. So, the next card is the Hierophant. This card typically depicts a figure dressed in religious attire, usually red and white robes. His arms are always open, indicating that he is eager to receive knowledge from the universe. One hand faces heaven, representing the spiritual influences on our lives, while the other point toward the floor, indicating earthly matters. The Hierophant is the connection between the two. In the gilded deck, the Hierophant stands before a beautiful decorated stained glass window with the moon reflected in the background. This symbolization meditation and reflecting wisdom. In the tarot, the number 5 represents self reflection, wisdom, and need for balance. The Hierophant is a representation of the belief system of the current, typically their religious faith. It can indicate ceremony, tradition, and spiritual connection. Depending on the context, it can also suggest charitable involvement. When this card appears in a spread, it often tells the current they can expect help from a wise and trusted figure in their lives, such as a teacher, mentor, or respected religious figure. Pay close attention to those surrounding cards in this spread as they can give clues about the nature of the figure's involvement. This card can also refer to a location or institution as well as a person. These places include hospital, universities, or other educational facilities, government organization, or houses of worship. In the extreme, it can suggest a person or organization that is resistant to change or to new and modern way of thinking. The Hierophant represent traditional value and morals. So the next card is the Lover card. The image depicted on the Lover varies dramatically from the deck to deck. In the Rider-Waite deck, two naked figures are shown in the foreground, palms outstretched and no sense of shame of their faces. An angel looms overhead, its palms also outstretched. The picture represents comfort, being open to choice and connection, and a sense of feeling whole. In the gilded deck, the lovers show two figures in state of romantic and physical bliss. The male and female figure are surrounded by water, symbolizing emotions. Golden light shine down from the heaven, representing an aura of love. The number 6 represents wholeness, completeness, and perfect balance. The lovers represent physical attraction, love, and the relationship between two soulmates. This card can also symbolize actions and people that make the current feel whole or important choice that the current need to make. Context is crucial whenever the lovers appears in a spread, so be sure you are familiar with the remaining card in the deck before attempting a reading. On its surface, the card portrays harmony. It appears in a spread may mean that the current is looking for a sense of belonging, either in a romantic relationship or in the world at large. The current may be seeking answers with respect to the state of their relationship. Whenever two people commit themselves to one another for an extended period, they must be able to grow together, lest they grow apart. The presence of the lovers in a spread may be to give the current guidance about how to keep the relationship together. So the next card is the Chariot. A woman riding a chariot led by two phoenix in opposite color is usually depicted on this card regardless of the type of deck. This image represents opposing forces coming together. It is important to note that the chariot does not seem to be in motion, representing stalled plans or unfilled potential. In the gilded deck, the woman is not staring straight ahead, as one would expect a driver to be. Instead, seems preoccupied, glazing off the side. This image emphasizes the need to remain focused on your goals if you are to succeed. The number 7 represents consistency in a chaotic world. This card can have a slightly different meaning depending on the question posed, the current state of mind, and the surrounding cards. In most cases, the chariot is a triumphant card, meaning that success can happen if the current work hard. The current may need to overcome obstacles through self discipline, focus, and perseverance. When this card appears in a spread, it often indicates a state of inner conflict. The current may feel confused about which direction to take to move forward, or maybe focused on too many projects at once. Remind the current that the chariot encourages them to pick a path and work hard to carry on. Indecision lead to nowhere. Qualities represented by this card include willpower and determination. The card may tell the current to take life by the rein and charge ahead. Good things come to those who work for them. The presence of this card should give your current to push their need. So the next card is the strength. The image on strength is another one that varies depending on the deck you choose. In the Rider Waite deck, a figure, typically a young boy, is shown petting a red lion. The lion does not seem to fear the figure or have any negative emotions. Instead, looks as though the figure is comforting the lion as they would a dog or other household pet. In the Gilded deck, a young woman is shown walking beside a lion. It seems focused, graceful, and purposeful. The lion is large and fierce looking but is keeping pace with the maiden, implying that she has tamed him. The lion is wearing a chain and the woman is not holding it tight. In tarot, the number 8 represents inspiration, the cycle of life, and having faith in the universe to provide. Strength represents qualities such as patience and diplomacy, as well as courage and self confidence. This card tells the current that they can succeed in their life. All it takes is to cultivate and draw upon your inner strength. The card can represent strength in career matters but also matters of the heart. Current with important question relating to their relationship status may be happy to see this card. If your current seems exhausted and this card appears in a reading, you may want to caution them to start a self care. Inner strength is not infinite, it must be replenished from time to time if we are to achieve any measure of success in life. Okay, the next is the hermit. Most decks depict the hermit as a solitary figure standing alone in a bleak landscape. He is dressed in simple clothing and carries a single lantern to light in his path. Most hermits are also shown carrying a cane. He is an elderly man with grey hair and a long grey beard representing his wisdom and age. The expression on his face is peaceful and serene. He is happy to be alone and comforted by his quest of knowledge. In tarot, the number 9 represents personal fulfillment and the completion of a quest. The presence of the hermit in a spread means that your current need to put careful thought and contemplation in a major decision. It cautions them against taking things lightly without taking the time to gain as much knowledge about the situation as possible. The answer to the current question is available but require a great deal of introspection and meditation to discover. Sorry, it's not meditation, it's mediation. I'm sorry. In some cases, this card may mean that the quarant need to withdraw from the world around them, at least for a brief period. In today's modern society, some reader advise quarant of the need to unplug from technology for a few hours a day. So the next is the Wheel of Fortune. In most deck, the Wheel of Fortune hangs suspended in the sky. In Rider Waite deck, the Wheel of Fortune is surrounded by mythological beast and covered in symbol. The Gilded deck shows the Wheel of Fortune against the heavens, with the sign of the zodiac written on its face. Most decks, the Rider Waite and the Gilded deck included, do not depict any human figure on this card, leading the reader to believe that faith is at work, not human intervention. The symbol of wheel itself represents the cycle of life. The number 10 means that an event or cycle has come full circle and reached its end. The Wheel of Fortune card is often called the Destiny card as it almost always indicates a positive changes in a person's life. It does represent the end of something old, but also the beginning of something new. It tells the Quran to see even through until the end and to be open to whatever life bring them next. It could be that a wonderful change is right around the corner. This card also reminds Quran that readers alike that nothing is permanent. There are good aspects of life and bad, but nothing lasts forever. The important thing is to remember the lessons life teaches you along the way. The Wheel of Fortune can also represent self improvement and change depending on the context of the spread. So, spreads involving multiple major arcana cards. Given that there are 56 cards in the minor arcana and only 22 in major arcana, most readers expect to see spread consisting primarily of minor arcana cards with only a few from the major arcana making appearance. As a result, spread containing more major arcana cards than minor carry special meaning. Entirely major arcana cards. When your spread consists of almost all major arcana cards, it means that your current is currently ex- experiencing major life changes, ones that have a massive long term impact on their life. This event can include relocation, making decisions about career and education, as well as more personal matters such as birth, marriage, divorce, and death. Your querent is likely seeking answer to deep questions affecting their spiritual and personal life. Using only major arcana cards, some professional can complete reading only using 22 cards of the major arcana. This method should reversed for experienced reader who need guidance on deeply spiritual matter, are seeking self-awareness or require a deeper insight into a current question from the collective unconscious. Reader can use the standard spread discussed in the next module for this reading. The minor arcana plays an important role in most readings, providing context and insight. As a result, it is important for a beginner reader to continue using the minor arcana as they become increasingly familiar with the meaning, interpretation, and definition behind the major arcana. And a note about reversal. As discussed in earlier modules, most readers do not consider reversed meanings when they complete spread. Instead, they prefer to let the other card in the spread provide context and meaning. However, if you do not that most of the major arcana cards appear reversed in a spread, it may means that the querent is not paying attention to the lessons available around them. As a reader, you can help your querent by offering deeper meaning or context about the reverse card. Okay, my lovely people, that's all for today. Tomorrow we will learn more about the major arcana cards. Until then, make sure to revise all my previous video so that you have a clear understanding of the topics we have covered. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe so I know that my hard work is paying off. Bye guys, take care.